Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Writing in Cars with Books. I'm Jaclyn.
And I'm Phillip.
And today we're going to be discussing two books.
Da, da, da.
It's 2/3 of a trilogy called Reckoner Rises. Book 1 is called Breakdown, and book 2 is called Version Control. And they are following up a book trilogy called Reckoner, which we have not read, but
I didn't read it.
I don't think you have to. It might help to know the characters and what's going on, but the graphic novels just kind of jump in.
They catch you up a little bit on what happened in the novel series, but it seems like a lot happened in the novel series.
I mean, it's 3 books. I'm sure a lot happened, and they're like 200 and some pages. They're not like little tiny books.
No, there's a lot that happened in the novel series, but we jumped right into the expanded universe, which comes after the novel series.
So these books are by David A. Robertson with art by Scott B. Henderson, and they are published by Highwater Press, which is an indigenous publisher in Canada. And
these books were sent to us, correct?
The second one was.
Okay, the second
I already
one.
had the first one.
Okay, we had the first one, but the second one was sent to us by the publisher, right?
Yeah.
Okay, we have to say that.
And it came out at the end of last year.
It's so bright.
And I don't know when book 3 comes out, but there's a cliffhanger, so I need it now.
Yeah. What the volume 1 of this came out in 2020. Volume 2 came out in 2022. So we're assuming volume 3 will be 2024 is my assumption.
Yeah.
It seemed to have a pattern.
And if you can gather by the cover, it's kind of like a sci-fi fantasy superhero series. And so book 1 jumps right in with, what's his name, Cole?
Cole.
So Cole
and Eva.
Cole has returned to Winnipeg along with Eva to figure out what is going on with Miko Laboratories. So the villain is this lab company.
Correct.
And
they're making villains / heroes.
Superheroes.
Yeah, they're making
superheroes.
They're making supers. How about that? They're making super people now, whether they're heroes or villains.
Yeah,
that's a whole different conversation.
This story has been done before, so we know what's gonna happen, kind of. But I enjoy the indigenous spin on it.
Right, because it is. I think it's based in Canada. It is a Canadian.
That's what I said.
Right, that's what I'm saying. But it's the whole indigenous part of the
Winnipeg.
Of the Canadian side.
It's in Winnipeg, I think.
Yeah, that sounds right.
So, Wounded Sky First Nation is where
bad stuff happened.
So
evidently that's where all the stuff from the novels take place. So
Cole has lots of trauma, PTSD, panic attacks, the whole gambit.
Hallucinations.
Yes, he is experiencing it all.
He's having a bad time after these trilogies.
Yeah.
So if you read the trilogies and you thought everything was happily ever after from the novels, I'm here to tell you it is not.
We don't know how it ended, but
I don't know, but these are continuation of it. So
yeah, Cole's mental health is in the toilet from whatever they did to him, and I think he's still trying to come to terms of his superhero-ness.
Right.
What are his powers? I don't even know.
So he's basically for a Marvel spin on it. He's basically kind of like Wolverine. He can't be killed.
He can be wounded.
So evidently in the novel, he has been killed before, but he got better. And then the same thing happens here, but he does have like some super strength, and he doesn't have like adamantium, of course, because that's all Marvel stuff. But he does get better when he gets injured. It sometimes just takes a little bit. Yeah,
and Eva can fly. I know that's for sure. And Scott, air. Her powers are revolve around air.
Right. But like for Cole, I think a lot of his issues is based around he's a survivor, right? So a lot of the people around him died, and yet he died and came back, and then he couldn't save them. So he's having. I think that's where a lot of his hallucinations are coming from.
And he's putting the burden of saving everybody on his own shoulders when he's got his friends that are willing to help, and he's like, no, I need to do this myself. And then in book 2, when he gets hurt, he doesn't like the fact that he can't be the one doing the saving. So that's a whole other thing.
Because I think, from what I gathered, Cole and Eva has a relationship of some sort.
Yes.
It might have been more before now, or like it's just strained mainly because of Cole not letting anyone in.
Yeah, there's very good mental health representation. There's also a two-spirit character in here, so that's cool to see. That's not something you see a lot of in books, I think. And
yeah, the indigenous aspect of this whole story is.
I read a lot of
very heavy.
David A. Robertson, and his books are fantastic. They're usually too short, but they're great. I could talk about them all day. But book 2, she really hits the fan, like, bad.
And then you could start seeing, I guess, Eva. We'll stay with Eva.
Eva.
she I think it's Eve. It's Eve.
But I keep saying Wally.
Eva. I know.
It's Wally's fault.
It's Wally's fault. Right, exactly. But anyway, so Eve starts stepping up, right? Like, she doesn't sit in the background any longer. And she, like, starts understanding how her powers work and how to use them and how to take to the skies and the shadows at the same time.
So these people at the lab that are creating these superhumans, it's called the Reckoner Project or the Reckoner Initiative. Initiative. Something like
initiation. Oh, yeah, we banned that.
Something like that. And so basically, I think in book 3, they're going to have all of their supervillains fighting these good guys. And hopefully there's an ending.
Right. And I don't know if there's more heroes versus Cole and Eve. Like, there's people that's helping them, but they don't have powers.
One of them is really good at, like, hacking computers and getting information that way. That's a very helpful tool to have.
But that just means that they're really smart.
They are the two-spirit character. Their shirt said 404, not found, gender not found. I thought that was funny. There's little tiny things in the art that made me happy, like a cat or a little Funko Pop on the desk, or I don't know, the art is really good too.
Yeah, they're definitely trying to keep, so even though it's a sci-fi superhero book, they're trying to keep this book grounded in today's world, because they use, like, other superhero characters or like Funko Pops and stuff to relate to those who are all comic based or movie based.
Here's a page of the two main characters, Cole and Eva.
Eve. Eva. Sorry.
It's spelled Eva.
It's never gonna get
me down.
Sorry.
Never gonna give you up. So, what were your overall feelings?
So I enjoyed the books. There's not having read the novels. I think there's probably a few things that I'm missing. If you'd have read the novels, I think there'd have been a few things that you'd have picked up on sooner.
Yeah.
I mean, they kind of give you good synopsis of what's going on, what was the big catastrophe. They do quick flashbacks for some of the pertinent pieces if you haven't read the novels. So between the first volume and second volume here, I was able to catch back up to the story.
I think I know enough. Like, you're just thrown out there into this world, and I think they give you enough information to enjoy them by themselves.
Right.
Like,
but if you've read the novels, I think that you'll love these, right? Like, I mean, if you've read the novels, you'll go in knowing all the characters. You already know all the hell that is brought upon these young individuals and this nation.
And if you're looking to diversify your bookshelf, but you like comics, superheroes, whichever, definitely recommend it for that, because there's great representation and there's a different spin on some, like, maybe overdone-ish stories, but it's all new, all different.
Right. Yeah, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, it is a superhero book, and there are superhero tropes. So let's not.
Of course.
So if that's what you're looking for, then this is actually a very good segue into all of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's handled really well. I did like the mental aspect of
the mental health representation was great.
It was very well done from especially Cole's perspective, seeing some of the, and I think that's where the second volume of this really came in. Like, it was hard for me to know where he was coming from in some of the mental health aspect of it, but after the flashbacks from the novels in volume 2, it was definitely more of, okay, well.
And I think the author goes on his own experience to write some of it as well.
Right.
You can really tell. So.
Yeah. So the story's solid, the writing's solid, the art is very good.
I love these colors.
Right. They have a very good. I'm looking forward to volume 3.
Yes, please. So these are both available now, obviously, and highly recommend. So if you like this video, like the video, comment, subscribe if you haven't already, and let us know what else you would like to see us read and review.
Thanks.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.